Today we're going to see, as I said, the inversions of the seventh chords. Yeah, and we have to see figure bass. What is the figure bass? The seventh chord. Very easy. Okay, so pretend. Yes, we have a D minor. Yeah, lovely D minor chord. Now, the figure bass that indicates this seventh. What is? Yes, Georgi.
7.
Yes. Not that complicated, right? This didn't have any hidden messages. Yes. The 7. Now you have the there you go. 7. Now, if I decide to do this, we have the first inversion where the third and the bass. Yes, it's like the triads. But the figured bass has a very specific figuration. Yes. Anyone knows the specific figure bass for the second inversion?
The first inversion.
The first inversion, sorry, Gilles? Yes.
6-5.
Yes, sir. 6-5. Now, the 6
Hidden
5.
3.
Yes, I mean, well, the figure bass. Laura, do you know anything about the figure bass, or do you have any knowledge? Because Georgios, the thing is, already studied harmony before.
No, I don't.
Okay, so yeah, it is the. Do you know why they're called 6-4, 6-5, 7? Those numbers.
Because of the intervals between the bass and the top.
The bass and the. Yes, I mean, if you see here, Laura, you have the seventh because the bass. Yes, or the root note. Yes, and the seventh away. Yeah, it's an interval of a seventh. Yeah, and then 6-5 between the bass and yeah the upper note. Yes, you have a 6, and then here you have a 6. Yeah, a 5. Sorry. Yeah, so 6 from here to here, 5. Now before, yes, we're going to carry on with the inversions. Yes, don't worry. But we're going to see the story of figure bass very quickly. Yes, it's not necessary to see the whole story, but very quickly. Now, if the fifth second inversion, Iris, do you remember the figure bass of the second inversion?
4-3.
4-3. Amazing. Last one. If the seventh is on the bass, we have which inversion? Gerd.
Third.
Sorry?
Third inversion.
What is it?
Third inversion. That's the question, no?
Yes, absolutely.
How do we write?
How do we write it? Which is a figure bass?
Okay. 2 or 4-2.
Okay, fantastic. Very good. So we have the twist. I swear I saw it. Okay, 4-2, there you go. Now, this started in the Baroque period, Laura. Yes, long time ago. And then before, they would actually tell us every single interval, not just 7 or 6-5, because they might appear to be a little bit random. Yes. Why? I mean, the chord has many intervals. Why to pick? Why picking one interval, for example, to the seventh? Yeah. Sometimes this chord is just as 2. Yes. And that's it. Not even 4/2. I mean, Giorgio said it very well. 2 or 4/2. Yes. But most commonly it's just 2. So why randomly? Yeah. So before the chord, yes, specified every single interval from the bass note to the rest of the notes. Yes. So in this case, this chord, it was 3. Yes, and it was in order actually. 3, 5, 7. Yes, from the lowest note to the next lowest note to the next lowest note to the next. Not 7, but through hundreds of years. Yes, literally. They say, which is 7. Yes. Why? Because 7 doesn't appear in the rest of the versions. Yes. So it's the only one, just put 7. I mean, we understand that it's 3, 5, 7. Yeah. In the 6/5, the same thing. Well, 3, 5, 6, not 6, 5. The 4/3 was 3, 4, 6. And in this case, it was 2. Yes. And then, for example, if you have, Laura, if you have to tell me all the intervals of this chord as an old figure bass in Baroque, what would you say?
2, 3, 3.
So you have 2. Yes. From here to here?
So 2, 2, 2.
No, because it's always from the bass. Is 2, yes. 4 and
6, sorry.
there you go, good. Yeah? Fantastic. It's always from the bass, yes? That's why you have 4, 3. You have 3 first. That's why the third is on the lower, yes? I'm saying this because this order has a logic, yes? You don't put 3, 4. You put 4, 3, and you say 4, 3. This is how you call the chords, yes? 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 2, yeah? In this 4/3, why? Because the 3 appears, although we say 4/3, we name them from the upper number to the lower number. Yeah, the lower number comes first because it's from the bass to the higher note. Yes, to the next one. That's 3, 4. The one we're missing is a 6. Yeah, 6, 5, 6 is the same thing. We say 6, 5. Yeah. But the interval from the bass, yes, the first interval that appears from the bass to the highest note is the 5, and there's the 6. Yeah? Just to clarify that, yes, when you name them, is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 2, or 2. Yeah? And this is how we write them. Yeah? I took the example of D minor. It doesn't matter which chord. Yes. Also, it doesn't change anything between majors and minors. Yeah? If I do this, and I pick C major 7th, it will be exactly the same, not because it's a minor 7th or it's a major 7th, it's a 7th. Yes, I'm saying this because in jazz music, usually they make the difference between a minor 7th, they put just a 7, and when it's a major 7th, this is MAJ 7, the major 7th. Yes, it's the shortcut, the short for major 7th. So it's not the same in classical harmony. Yeah? All clear? Yeah? Amazing. Amazing. So let's go to the book of Schonberg, as we all know. Okay, so we're going to be seeing specific cases. Yes, it's a very short end of the chapter. Yeah, Now, the treatment of the 4-3, which is a 4-3, which inversion is this? It is. Which inversion?
Second inversion.
Amazing, very good. So the treatment of the 4-3 chord formerly had some restrictions attached. Because if the 7th is disregarded, it is a 6-4 chord, since it's the 5th is in the bass. Yes, when we were using triads, yes, the 6-4 chord. A 6-4 chord with added 7th in this case. The pupil, aka you, can indeed treat the 4-3 chord that way as if it were a 6-4 chord. That would mean not entering and leaving the bass by leap. Not writing 2 4-3 chords in succession, please, I beg you. I don't do that. And not connecting a 4-3 chord with a 6-4 chord because they're considered to be the same function-wise. Yes? So not writing 2 4-3, not writing 2 in succession, not writing a 6-4 chord with a 4-3 because function-wise is the same. And also, yes, don't leap, yes, with the bass, yeah, not entering and leaving the bass by leap. Why does he say that? Not entering and leaving the bass by leap. Why do you think that he's very specific in that, in a 6-4 chord? And it has to do with the function. Remember the chapter 1 in the Kaplan. When these chords are used, yes,
As passing and or neighboring.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly, yeah.
Mm.
So if you're using tonic prolongation or any prolongational chord, yes,
Mm.
that's 6-4 because the nature is unstable and it's going to resolve, yes. Now you can use in this case, yes, we're going to use um, uh, inversions, but the chord itself it's the same, it carries on with the same function of neighboring, yes, or passing. So the function is the same. Yes, that's why he said don't. Yeah, in this case, yes, in the 4-3 chord, yeah, don't leave it by leap. Yes, because I don't know, he doesn't specify that, but the function of that chord, yes, if you see in classical harmony, is used as a passing chord, as a neighboring chord, by and the function is prolonging another chord which is more important. Yes, so that's why. Yeah, Laura, all clear with that? Yeah, good. Now, I love this. This treatment, however, is not absolutely necessary. For it is too often contradicted by the living example of practice, where we frequently find just such a progression as that in example 4C. Now, in this case, it is a cadential one. Yes, that's why. Yeah, and also I think there was, Yuri, there was kind of an exception that you made last week. It wasn't the exception that the week that I said, okay, it was a climax, and then you put in your exercise. Remember? There was you were basically breaking the rules there, but it was the climax.
How I resolved the 7th chord. I
Yes.
think it wasn't an inversion.
No. It was not an inversion, but it was something about like breaking the rules. But there was a reason why, because there was, you had a climax there, so you really needed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in that sense, for everyone, yes, involved here in this lesson, yes, when he says this, it's because you should have a reason why. Yes, it's cadential, you have a climax, something, yes, something that in the voice leading, that you just have to do it because motivically you have a climax, or you have at the end of a section in which there's the end of something, the beginning of something else. Yes, is when, for example, Bach finishes a phrase, let's say, yes, in one chord, and then the next phrase, yes, all the voices move. That would be, in between the phrase. It would be absolutely forbidden. Yes, but as you're beginning something else, another section, you're not breaking the rules of harmony. Yeah. So those kind of things. Yeah. Now I'm going to go very, very specifically. Yes, not through all the examples. Yes. The preparation of the seventh of the two chord means, of course, that it must be introduced earlier on the bass, because this chord, yes, is very peculiar. Yes, you have the seventh on the bass. If you see here, yes, the third, yes, with the 4-2, yes, or the third inversion, the seventh, of course, is on the bass, and it has to be prepared, yes, in the previous chord. Now that note, for example, in this case of the seventh, needs to be a consonant. Remember that all the seventh, they have to do one thing. They have to be prepared, and they have to resolve stepwise. Yes, that's for sure, to another consonant. So hence, only a few progressions are possible. Its resolution can only be to the sixth chord because the seventh must descend. Now, you don't have to, or you don't need to study all the examples by heart. If you know that the seventh descends, yes, into a third of the chord, naturally, the next chord is going to be a sixth chord because the third is going to be on the bass. So keep in mind the old rules. Don't because when harmony it does happen that they add kind of more rules. Actually, they're not more rules. You infer them from the previous rules. Yes. So this is obvious. Yes, it's not a new rule. It's because it's obvious if you know that this descends to the third of the chord, this is going to be the next chord, yes, of the last inversion, the third inversion of every seventh chord must be, yes, must resolve on a sixth chord, yes. But it's just because of the movements of the voices, yes. Don't take this as a new rule, yes. Same thing here, yes. If you see the seventh, yes, is prepared in a sixth chord, you double the bass, especially if you have a seventh, which you have to prepare. So this is the same case. And in this case, you have a seventh, which is kind of interesting, because it's the only interval that is a consonant. Yes, D to F, D to B. Yeah. All good? Now notice that the seventh resolves properly. Yes, the seventh chord, the F, remember the interval that is dissonant, resolves into the root of the next chord. So whatever you do, yes, this is something that the only thing that has to be clear in this chapter, the end of this chapter, yes, is that all the preceding rules apply. You know that the seventh degree resolves on the third. You know that the seventh degree, yes, you have to double the third. You know that in the seventh degree, yes, in this case, you're not going to double the third because it's in the bass, yes, so it's not needed. he doesn't put this, but I'm sure that before the 7th chord, he has to put which chords to prepare. I mean, they're not here, but
I can say that.
yes.
4.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
2.
or 2. There you go. Preparation by the octave or by the third. Amazing. By the octave is the 4th, by the third is the 2nd. Yeah. So everything applies. Okay. Yes.
Now he has the 6-3 and the 5-3. I'm sure. Of course, you can do 2-3, no, to prepare the bass.
You can do the 2-3 to prepare the bass.
I mean, he uses the 6th and the 5th as the examples here, but I assume these are not the only cases we can prepare the 7th on the bass of the.
Oh no, absolutely no, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing, yes, exactly. But what you need to know is that the preparation has to be a consonance on the previous chord.
Mm-hmm.
Then, how do I do it? Yeah, if the voices are all right, that's fine. Yes. Now, in the case of the 6/4 chord, remember that in a 6/4 chord, yes, again, don't forget the previous rules. The bass is doubled, as in this case, in a 6/4 chord. Yes, so please don't forget the previous rules. Yes, like the basic ones. Yes, you still need to double the bass on a second inversion. Yes, on the triad. Okay, look. So examples. Have a lot of examples. You can see them all. Yes, but we are just picking certain things. Yes, that they are useful. Yes. In the case of the 7th degree, yes, because it's the special case, not only the 7th, but also the diminished 5th must be prepared and resolved in this example. Yes. So here, if you see the 40F, yes, the number 1. The 7th degree, yes, remember the 7th degree, first inversion, but the 7th is prepared as every 7th, plus the diminished 5th, and both resolved downward. Yeah, just little details. So don't forget, yes, that even if you're using the 7th, you have to use the first inversion, you have to prepare the 5th as well. Yes, it has to resolve downward plus the 7th. Yeah. Okay, what else? For my means of the 6 chords made because means well, this all this. Now, your task for next week is to prepare, yes, not only, a similar, yes, a similar exercise like this, yes, using 7ths, inward position and inversions, yeah. But the most important thing is to keep a good counterpoint between the voices, yes. The reasons why we should use, yes, these inversions should be because of good melodic line. If you see the bass here, it's very, very smooth line. Yes, you don't jump around. Yes, usually the bass, you know that the bass leads whatever. Yes, so The exercise will have, you can have 8 or 12 bars, yes, and a 4/4. Any key, doesn't matter, yeah, and it can be C major. I don't care, yeah, which key you prepare. Now, you have to be aware of close and open positions, the melody and the soprano, mainly, and the melody and the bass, and the counterpoint in between them. Yes, in this case, you have the melody of the soprano. Yeah, so there's no leaping around. Yes, you have at least, well, this is a climax at the beginning. I want a climax, yes, in the kind of 60% of the I want, yes, not this example, I want. More than 60% of your 8 bars or your 12 bars climax, yes, an open position, highest note, something, yes, be creative. Now, another thing, the counterpoint in between the voices, yes, should be as the counterpoint that we studied in the first pieces. Yes, with oblique motions, with favor contra emotions. Yes, favor. If you can't, you can't. Yes, but favor them. Yeah. And then use the inversions to apply the counterpoint. Yes, for a very specific motif reason. Yes. Now, on top of that, because our mind has to be in everything. Yes. At least, yes, at the beginning of the exercise, tonic prolongational, using whatever 6/4 chord you want. Yes, doesn't matter. Yes, passing, neighboring, whatever. Yes, you can have 6/4, 1, yes, 1, 5, 6, 5, 1, 6, whatever. Yes, but some kind of tonic prolongation. No? In the middle of the exercise, you could have sequential, you could not have sequential, that is not necessary. Yes, it's not compulsory. But yes, a perfect authenticator at the end. So tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic. Yes, that has to be, yes, at least dominant tonic in root position, as you know. Yes. The predominant, the tonic predominant might not be. Yes. 6/4 cadential. While we are at it, we can use 1. Yes, because we're using 7 chords. Or these inversions. So 1/6 cadential, yes, dominant 7 for position, and then tonic, yeah, root position. And in the middle, whatever you want, yes. Don't repeat chord progressions, yes. Don't repeat, for example, you have 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, yes, or 4, 3, 4, 3, or 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. Yes, don't repeat progressions because that is the dullest thing to do. Yes, actually in a piece of music. Yes. If we see that, okay, if you repeat in a piece of music the progression, something else has to happen. But in this case, because nothing else will happen, yes, just the harmony, please don't repeat. Yes. So, everything clear? It is. Let me see. What do you have this exercise?
So the progression, I mean, like this exercise.
How many bars? First of all.
From 8 to 12.
Yes.
And then to
Any
use 6/4. Yes. Wait, what?
Any key.
Yes, any key. Well, not C major or G major. I
No,
understand.
actually, you can use C major. Yeah.
Okay, well, and then the tonic prolongation on the first part, and the cadential 6/4 at the end.
Fantastic.
I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Also, not repeating like progressions, and making sure that the line is like it is in counterpoint.
Yes, applying the rules of the first piece of counterpoint. Yes, that we already saw. Yes, very good. And that is how you're going to use inversions. Yes, that is why, because if the line is okay, you will use that inversion. Yes, in the sentence. Amazing, thank you. And Georgios, what else did we say?
Inversions.
Yeah, inversion, yes, very good. Something about the melody.
How to be contrary, ideally, with the bass.
Yes, exactly, very good.
Climax.
Yes, exactly. Where?
60-70%.
Yeah, in that area. Yeah, I don't mind, but not the second bar, last bar, first bar. Yes. It's like, why is that melody there? Yeah, so more or less exactly, be 60-70% around that, yes, a climax. Exactly. With open position, with the highest note. Feel free. I don't know. Yeah. Fantastic. Great. Amazing. So all clear. Yes. And well, you know that it's new score. Yes. You always like that. Oh, something else. I was forgetting. In new score, yeah, write the chords, yes, with the Roman numerals, and the specific inversion that you're using, either 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or 4, 2. Yes, 7 is not inversion, but 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 2. Yes, and then write where the climax is, and if you do something that you consider to be like against the rules, yeah, specify why. Because you see, even Schonberg says, look, if you need to do it for X, Y, Z reasons, do it, yes, but you have to know why. If not, if you don't know what you're doing, at least if you comply by, by the rules, you're doing a good job, yeah. Yes, don't forget that, please. Yes, Georgios, sorry.
Number 7, be approached from the, not preparing them, but from the real chord. How do I explain myself? You put the chord without the 7th, and then you put the same chord with the 7th, stepwise. Sol, si, re, fa, sol, si, re, sol, sol, si, re, fa.
So you have a, no, I don't read. Have the example here.
For the bass.
Yes, exactly. So you have, for example, this chord. Sorry, not this chord. The triad. Yes. So you have that and that.
Yes. That's quicker, not 17. But
Yeah,
yes.
but that is not a function.
But you said it. You said it.
But you said. But they said.
I avoided it. Remember, I avoided it.
You know what you. what you're trying to do here is we're going to see tomorrow, which is a second species, which is a dissonance in the second, the weakest part of the beat, or the weakest part of the bar. Yes, not as a function in harmony still. Yes, harmonically, which is a big picture. Yeah, the seventh, yeah, is always on the strong. Yes, always on the strong metric position. Yes, when you have a passing, yeah, dissonance is that's why you have the 6/4 chord. That's why you have how do you explain myself? You have the passing seventh, but it's always passing seventh. Yes, when it is passing, yes, it gives you the idea of the weak. Yes. If you're doing if you have this chord, yes, and this is your meter, and this is your pulse, yes, and you subdivide this in two, yes, and you put the B there, yes, and then most probably you resolve, yes, not the chord, yes, not this downwards in a consonance. What you're actually doing is what we're going to see tomorrow, a second piece of counterpoint. Yes. So for now, restrain yourself. Yes, because we're connecting chords. Yes, chords that they try to be as smooth as possible and to form, yes, a smooth line, but they are structural themselves. A passing seventh, that seventh is melodic, it's not structural. It doesn't have a function, a passing seventh. That's why the seventh has to be prepared. Has sense? Yeah? Okay. Tomorrow is going to be like the day. Yes. The day of the big day. Really. Second pieces. The introduction of the dissonance. Okay, so look, in a nutshell, okay? Connection of seventh chords with one another. If we retain just the most important of our instructions, namely, that the seventh be resolved by taking it down a step, which is the most important thing, if we disregard the requirement of a strong root progression, because remember, what was the rule here? What was the root progression that we needed to have in a seventh chord? That has to resolve.
Is it that I have to jump up a fourth?
Yes, a leap, a fourth forward. Yes, ascending. Yeah, exactly. Very good, Laura. Amazing. So if we disregard, yeah, that's why it was. I didn't want to go very in detail with all this chapter, because at the end of the chapter says this. Okay. So if we disregard the requirement of a strong root progression, and if we are satisfied with a preparation in which the preparatory tone was a consonance in the preceding chord, so if we are satisfied with the preparation in which the preparatory tone was a consonant, yeah, so there are two things that he says, look, don't change. One, that the seventh has to resolve down a step. And two, that the seventh has to be prepared and has to be a consonant in the previous chord. He doesn't say, and then we disregard the movement of the root. So when the result has to be a consonant. With these allowances, we can join a seventh chord with another seventh chord, if only these two conditions are fulfilled. The preparatory tone should have been a consonant, and the resolution should take place through descent of the seventh. This corresponds to the procedure I announced in my discussion of the seventh degree. There I stated that the dissonance requires this careful handling only so long as it is still a striking occurrence in our harmonic life. Yes? So if you have here, you have many examples, you can see them all, yes? Now, if you notice very quickly, and you have the 7-4-3, the 2-6-5, the 2-6-5-4-3, 6-7, but overall, he uses this to have a very smooth line between the voices. Yeah. How do you do it? Well, you will figure out. And he does say that later. Yes. He says, talking about the rules. Yes. And this is the end of the chapter. We must be clear on this point that we are not teaching him eternal laws. Yes, talking about, why not be just free from the very beginning. Yes, he just kind of rounds up this idea. Yes, from the teacher's perspective, and you as your teachers, yes, and you were going to teach this, yes, at some point, it's important. So we must be clear on this point that we are not teaching him eternal law. He already talked about eternal laws, the law of nature. Laws handed down by nature as the only laws, the immutable laws of art. We have rather the task, because of our inability to grasp the unordered, of presenting him the traditional handicraft of our art in the form of a closed theory, as if it were grounded in nature, inferred from nature. This theory can indeed be inferred from nature, because of the theory of overtones, we already know. That's why they need preparation, because remember that the nature of our ears, yes, of perception, yes, can handle, yes, the higher overtones. That's why we need to prepare them. Yes, that is what he needs. Yeah. It is possible, but nothing more. Even if our art and its theory do appeal with some justification to nature, a person untutored in the art does not have to be wrong if he produces something different. Even there, he says, look, if you produce something different, it's not going to be wrong. I'm just in the used handicraft so far. Yes. And he closes with a lovely, lovely, lovely phrase, which I really love. He says, for art reduces the perceptible to the expressible. Let that sink in. Yes. I love those phrases. I love Schonberg. I cannot help it. For art reduces the perceptible to the expressible. What we can perceive in its totality, we just have to reduce it throughout to what we can express. To our filter, let's say. Yeah. Hence, one can perceive differently and express differently. That's why we have so many pieces of art, because everyone has his own filter. Yeah. Above all, however, art is not something given like nature, but something that has become. It could then also have become other than it is today. Something happened in the past, it changed, yes, who knows? The path along with which art has evolved, the historical development, perhaps often better indicates what it has become than does nature, from which it developed. Thus, if one wishes to instruct a pupil in the traditional sense of a harmonic system, because it's a system after all, it is sometimes much more pertinent to lead him along the pathway of art rather than along the pathway of nature. My experience with pupils, yeah, because he was an amazing teacher, this guy, not only a genius, not a composer, also a tutor. And with my own development could reassure me in following this course. Nevertheless, I have seen in myself and in others that the need arises to know more of these things, even to assimilate them so thoroughly that they are understood as order, as being coherent. Moreover, there are also individuals whose talents are such as require instruction. A number of them, perhaps, only to save time. Because at the end of the day, yes, he said, such time as is spent in finding out for oneself is indeed not time lost absolutely. Yes, sorry, one second. Not even when one errs. Yes, errs is makes mistakes. It can be used more economically, however, if a sure and careful hand leads the way. So basically, remember that he was a self-taught, and he, several times he said, my only books were my only source of knowledge were the pieces. Yeah. So basically, he's saying, look, I saw this through several pieces, and this is the conclusion. Go and find it. He doesn't say, oh, don't do it. No, go. I'm only saving you time. Yeah. But I just wanted to share this little, paragraph just because of that phrase. Never forget that phrase. It's amazing. For art reduces the perceptible into the expressible. Yeah? Amazing. So, I leave you, just wow. Think about that phrase the whole day. And tomorrow as well, if you can. And the day after.